Hi there, I'm back and I'm going to do a bridal look. Give you a bit of a clue. Okay, so let's get started. I've already moisturised my skin with Amber Lace. I usually advise my brides to moisturise on the morning after they've had a shower or whatever, just to let the moisturiser sink in, because it's kind of all about layering. Okay, so the next product I'm going to use is, I use a range of primers. I'm out of breath now, I've just run back upstairs again. And the one that I've been using at the moment that kind of is good for most skin types is Claren's Beauty Flash Balm. Mine's got lovely crystals on the bottom because it's their 30th anniversary. Okay, so just put this on, and then you don't rub this in, you've just got to smooth it over your skin. Okay, so what this does is it forms like a film over your skin, but it's also quite good for kind of adding radiance to the skin. So generally, if the bride's been really busy on the run up to the wedding day, it can be a little bit dehydrated, so this just helps to make them look a little bit more refreshed. Okay, so straight onto that I'm going to apply the foundation. So I'm going to use Laura Mercier's Silk Cream Foundation. This is their Luminous formula. And the colour I'm using is medium ivory. Okay, so you really don't need very much of this. In fact, the amount I've put on my hand there could well be a little bit too much, and I'm just doing this with a MAC 190 brush. I'll just start in the middle of the face. And move it around. So generally, that's what I'm going for, just a sort of even coverage. I usually finish off the skin a little bit later, but just to hide any blemishes, I'm just going to use Estee Lauder's concealer called Disappear, and this is in shade 3 medium. My skin's a little bit darker at the moment because I've been using like a daily moisturising tanner, just to give myself a little bit of colour for the spring. Now we've had some nice weather here. Okay, so I literally just add this wherever I need a little bit of extra cover. I'm not going to conceal anywhere under the eyes just yet, because I'll be using shadows and things. Okay, and I'm not going to powder just yet either, so something like that for the skin. And I'm going to use MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. I use a range of primers. I use either the paint pots or Urban Decay Primer Potion, just anything really, just to make sure that the eyeshadow is definitely going to stay put all day and it doesn't go creasy or anything like that really. So I'm using most of the product kind of on the lid, and then whatever's remaining just move it right up here. Okay, so just to prime my lid like that. Okay, eyeshadows. So if I'm going to go for something quite natural, I'll go for, depends really if you want kind of matte or a little bit more sheeny. So I think what I will use is a little bit of Brulee by MAC to start with, which is this one, just to give my lid a little bit of colour, just to kind of even it out a little bit. Okay, so that was with a 217, and then next I'm just going to use a soft contour colour, I'm just going to start by using a little bit of this colour here, which is called Patina. And it's not overly coloured and it's got a slight bit of shimmer in, but nothing too much. And I'm just going to use this here. So a little bit in the crease. I'm going to use a different brush. That one looks like it's been attacked. What happens when you just clean your brushes and use them a bit too soon. Okay, so kind of softly in the crease here. And then just to get the colour a little bit more in an area that I want to place it, I'm just going to keep building the same colour, but I'm now using a number 7. It's called a smoky eyeliner brush, which is a bit like a pencil brush. Just because my eyes aren't very big, I can kind of do this with a bit more precision just in this line here. Okay, just to add a little bit more in that area, I'm going to use this colour here, which is Coquette by MAC. It's kind of a bit like a greeny grey colour really. So just with the pencil brush again. To kind of build up the definition in these corners. Look a little bit crazy right now. And then just keep blending it out. So just at the roots of the lashes, I'm going to start to press a little bit of Mystery, this colour here. I'm going to use an eyeliner in a minute as well, but this is just to create a little bit of depth, and I'm using I think it's a 266 brush, this one here. So right in by the lashes. Define the brows. Scared me. And I'm going to keep them fairly light, not quite as heavy as I usually do, and I'm going to use a mixture of Omega and Mystery here. So I'll just start here. I just find that brows can make a really big difference to the look. And if you can help yourself by getting these a little bit more in order, it will just make your whole look look a little bit more polished and make your eyes stand out quite nicely. So I'm just filling them in with the Omega to start with. Don't really want them too heavy. And then whatever's left on the brush I'll just use here. I'm just taking a little bit out of the pot. So this is a new one for me. I love Clinique's black liner, as you will know, and I've just got Smoke Grey. So number 3, Smoke Grey. I don't know if you can see the colour there. I was using Bobbi Brown gel liner in Sepia, and it's just all finished, so I thought I would give this a go. Can you let me know what you think? Not too heavy. Just following the natural line of the eye. And then where I've started to move that line in, I follow that up. So it's not a huge flick really, just to give you a bit more of it. I can probably add a little bit more definition, which I think I might do now actually. Okay, so again, I might use the 266 brush this time. Yeah, 266 brush. And I'm using a little bit of the mystery again. So I'm just going to take this on this outer corner here. I'm kind of doing it and then flicking it out a little bit because I'm going to blend that edge, but it's just helping me to see where, you know, I want the eyeshadow to be going for a shape, and then I'm just blending that outside edge. I'm just bringing that corner out there slowly. Okay, so going back to the coquette that I used before, with the 266, I'm just going to put this underneath the eye. Really close to the lashes. I'm just going to apply a little bit of white pencil on the inside of my eye. I don't normally do this for every bride, but it just helps to open up smaller eyes. This is a Rimmel soft kohl pencil in, it says Kajal eyeliner pencil in pure white. Okay, so just sharpened it, and I'll just pop this just on this inside here. I find that with most brides, if you curl the lashes, it either, well I always curl the lashes, but it helps to make the eyelashes look longer, and also helps if I'm putting either individual eyelashes in or false lashes, it just helps them to fit in, because sometimes some people's lashes are quite straight, so you kind of need the lift to blend them. I usually I always use waterproof mascara, but just for this, because I'm going to take it off in a minute, I'm just going to use some Estee Lauder Sumptuous mascara. So I use any kind of waterproof mascara that I trust. Rimmel Sexy Care is waterproof, it's pretty good. The Makeup Forever Smoky Lash, the Aqua one, that's really good. So anything that's not going to budge on the day, basically. So get that right in at the roots and make the most of your lashes. Okay, so I mean you could just leave them as they are. If I've got a bride that's got lovely long lashes, then just kind of apply a good couple of coats of mascara. Is that a good sign? But for now I'm just going to apply some finish off the skin. So a little bit of the Estee Lauder concealer again on a MAC 224 brush. I'm just going to blend this around the eyes here. Okay, so I'm now going to powder over with some translucent powder, so I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It looks like this. I do this with a 190 brush, a MAC 190 brush. So I don't really use very much of this at all. I've just tapped the brush in and then I'm just tapping it off in the lid here. a bit of the excess off and just powder over the skin just to kind of set all of that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of a bronzer using the Soleil Tan de Chanel with the 190 brush, the MAC 190 brush. Okay, so put this here, just to contour a little bit, and up into the cheekbone, into the I'm going to do kind of a double blush, so technical term, so I'm going to use, I can't remember what it's called, Well Dressed MAC colour. It's kind of got a bit of a sheen to it actually. So I'll start off with Well Dressed on the 190 brush, and I'll just pop this here. So kind of on the apple of the cheek. I always quite like to create quite a nice fresh look. Okay, so make sure this is quite well blended, the edges are well blended. And then just to add a bit of extra blusher, because you do need a bit more colour just to help, because the colour of the dress tends to bleach the face out a little bit. I'm going to use a Bobbi Brown blusher, and this is Pink Coral. Okay, so it's got tiny bits of shimmer in, if you can see there. And I'm using MAC 165 brush, just on the very tip, so literally just like that. It's quite a highly pigmented blusher. And then I'm just going to work this in here, so this just adds a bit more definition. Take a little bit off. Okay, so this is just going up here. Keep taking it off the brush, and then really blend it with the outside. And then for lips, tend to keep it quite soft, unless somebody's used to wearing quite a lot of you know, lipstick, or they're used to wearing a lipstick that lasts quite a long time. And my fail-safes, I use quite a few different glosses, but my fail-safes are MAC Cream Sheen Glass, and this one is in Partial to Pink. I'll just apply this with a lip brush. These are nice and soft, moisturising, and don't feel sticky. Put just a bit of a hint of colour on the lips. Okay, so that's the finished bridal look, so something quite defined but still quite natural looking. I hope you liked it. I'm hoping to do a series of these, so the next one's probably going to be perhaps maybe more of a definite look, so quite a smoky look. Might mix it up with a bit of a gypsy influence without it looking too horrid, and then I'd like to do an Indian inspired. So that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed the tutorial and that you've found some bits that are useful, and I'll be back again soon. Thank you so much for watching. See ya!